Next technique that I want to show you guys is braking drift, and there's a few variations of it, so I'm gonna show them one by one and I'll explain after. So let's go on to the first one. Okay, first example guys, we need the long straight and the long corner. So what we're going to do is we're gonna build up very high speed. Again, we're gonna turn into the corner while holding the throttle, and now as we understeer, we tap the brake very gently, and there goes, the back flies out and we oversteered and we enter drift. Okay, let me give you a short breakdown of this technique and what is happening. So we go with very high speed and we're approaching the corner. Then we turn into the corner with a very high speed and we're understeering. Then we tap the brake, and what this is going to cause, guys, is literally the weight from the rear of the car is going to shift towards the front axle, basically the front of the car. This will cause the back of the car to pivot, and what is going to happen is now the back is starting to fly out. Therefore we enter oversteer, and basically we're entering drift. So then you countersteer and you catch the drift and you get hold of the car and you're maintaining the drift yourself. Okay guys, here's the correct way to save yourself when you want to exit a corner and you are already with a very high speed. So to avoid understeer and not overshoot the corner and not crash into the wall, here's what you have to do. We're gonna cover the two ways. We're gonna leave the handbrake for another video. So if you decide to left foot brake, make sure to be super short, just enough to make your correction if you want to increase the angle like I did. Remember guys, the bigger the angle, the more it's gonna slow you down. Also make sure to immediately start throttle pulsing and get back on the throttle. If you're still going with a very fast speed, make sure to lower your throttle input. Still modulating, keep modulating and throttle pulsing, but with a very low amounts just to keep the drift going. Stay sideways, but to make sure you also start gaining grip and slow yourself down, while also keeping the angle that you have to help you slow down yourself a bit more. And the other way is literally not using any brakes at all. So just using the throttle, keep modulating, keep that drift going, but also lower the inputs so that way you gain some grip and you slow yourself down. This is the way to cut some speed and avoid crashing into the wall or overshooting the corner, so you have this nice exit just on time with the right speed. Okay, final showcase now of the technique guys. We go with high speed, turn in, tap the brake, the weight shifts towards the front and the back flies out, and then we enter oversteer, and all you have to do guys is literally catch the drift, and that's about this variation. Now onto the next braking drift variation guys, and this is what I personally call the brake slam drift entry or the brake slam weight transfer, because this is exactly what we're going to do. The only difference here guys is that after now we get enough speed and after we turn in towards the corner, we're gonna let off the throttle and slam the brake. This is gonna send a lot of the weight to the front, and we're gonna break traction on the back, and this is exactly what is gonna happen. The rear is going to kick in very hard, and depending on your speed and how much you understeered, and depending how strong are your brakes and your brake bias, this will determine how much your back is gonna fly out and how big of an angle you get. Again, a quick breakdown of the technique itself. Nothing changes apart from just the brake slam and that we don't keep the throttle in the corner. So what happens is, we approach the corner again with high speed, we turn in, but this time we don't keep the throttle, we let off the throttle when we slam the brake as hard as possible, or just enough to shift a lot of this weight towards the front of the car. So basically what happens is we approach the corner, we turn in, let off the throttle, slam the brake. This shifts the weight towards the front and shifts a lot of weight, enough to break traction on the back, and the back is gonna fly out. And then we oversteer, we enter drift. That's the whole magic of this brake slam, again braking drift variation. And the final variation of the braking drift is just the left foot brake, which is when you enter the corner, you brake loose, you just hold the brake. This will keep the car to stay on the line and you go through the corner. All right, let me show you now. Again, we go towards the corner, we're gonna brake loose, and then we just hold the brake and modulate the throttle to get past the corner. And that's about the left foot brake. So what's the logic here, guys, you ask? The magic of the left foot brake that we're using is basically, we enter the corner with high speed, we turn in, we tap the brake, brakes loose on the rear, we enter oversteer, we maintain the drift, but this time, as we're giving throttle, we hold the brake. This will ensure that we go on the same line through the corner. And also, this time with the left foot brake, you can also control how much speed. If you see that you're flying very fast and you're gonna hit the wall, then you can apply a bit more brake, but you can also apply a bit more throttle, so that way you don't exit drift or you don't kill enough speed to literally stop drifting, exit drift, or spin out. You need to be careful with how much brake you're giving, because if you slam or give way too much brake, your back will fly a lot and now your front will face towards the apex and you'll basically spin out. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. Okay, let me show you what can this mistake do with too much brake. So again, we're gonna brake to oversteer. Then if you tap too much the brake or too hard, you're literally going to spin out or oversteer way too much. The back is gonna fly out. And this is another way actually to do a reverse entry or a very cool 90 degrees entry. However, be careful, because on the long corner that's not gonna work, especially if you have people chasing you and you have a tandem or something. The people are gonna crash into you because they do not expect you to do that.